Yeah, so welcome to this week's podcast, I guess. We are here today to talk about work experience. So I'm Mr Hoofe, currently head of Year 10.
I'm Mr Bullimore, assistant head of Year 10.
And currently our Year 10 students are on work experience. So we just want to really get the idea across really of what the purpose of work experience is and why it's so important. So what would you say is the benefit?
I think it's very important for them to get an experience of what life is like after school. Obviously we're in school to gear up to preparing the students to be in the workplace, and I think the earliest exposure they can get to that workplace, the better they'll have over their peers, the better advantage they'll have over their peers around the area. Absolutely.
I think it builds that confidence as well.
Yeah.
It's about those transferable skills and just making sure that it's just a really beneficial experience for them, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So in terms of the sort of skills that students are actually gaining on work experience then, like obviously we've got things like communication and time management, but there's loads of different skills.
Yeah, I think a big one for us as well, and what we try and promote at Albury, is the presentation of what the students look like. Every workplace to some degree will have some sort of uniform approach, what they have to wear, whether it be health and safety, whether it's just to look the same as everybody else. And I think sometimes students forget that element of school, and they don't understand the reason why we're trying to do that. So when we send them to a work experience place, they get to see in the real life world of how people dress in a corporation, or it might be a retail shop or a solicitor's. Everybody will have some sort of uniform that they have to wear, and I think that's something that they tend to miss out on.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of making strong impressions then, I'm thinking about when I did my work experience really, and just making sure that I was obviously really nervous on that first day, but trying to make sure that I was on time, doing jobs, going above and beyond. I think there's some of the really important things in terms of making good first impressions. Obviously you mentioned uniform as well. Is there anything else that you think?
I think the first impression's huge, and obviously again we gear up to going into that workplace when they finish school, and if they can make good connections very early on in their young teenage life, they will have many doors and opportunities open. It might be that they approach that employer again when they're in college, because they're looking for a bit of part-time work, and they've made a great impression on their week of work experience, and already they've got their foot in the door for actual paid employment, which will be really obviously beneficial to the students at the school.
Yeah, really is. In terms of dealing with nerves then, what do you think what students should be doing to deal with those nerves?
I think they've just got to be realistic. It's going to be a nervous time. You and I, when we come to a job as an adult, we are nervous on the first day, but people have an understanding of their position, that they are 15, they are coming into an environment that they aren't familiar with, and they will approach that situation to the students as well. They will know that they are a bit uneasy, so I feel like the people welcoming them onto work experience will know that, and they will do their best to try and calm them down and to settle them in very quickly. They're not just going to be thrown into the deep end straight away.
I agree with that. I think it builds resilience as well, getting over those first nerves. It just sets you up really well for later work life, really.
Absolutely, I agree.
So reflections then on work experience afterwards, so thinking about future plans, I'm trying to think of ways that students can use this experience to help them in their future, really. So
you'll have some students that say, I want to be a solicitor, and that's what they've wanted to do for 2-3 years until they're in that workplace, and then they come away going, actually, I don't actually want to be a solicitor anymore. It's not for me. And I think that on the flip side of work experience, it's a good opportunity for them to see if it's actually what they want to go down and study in college and university, rather than going all the way through, then getting to the job and then going, it's not for me. They're having a bit of a taster when they're 15 to see if it is for them, or if not, what they're going to move on to next.
And when it is for them as well, I think it's really beneficial that they get to speak to people in that environment and have that opportunity to see how they got to where they are. So did they go down the traditional uni route? Did they do their T levels, their A levels, whatever they did? Those opportunities, those conversations can take place. There's just so many benefits to work experience.
Absolutely. And I think we're really proud of the students that have managed to go out and get placements off their own back. We've launched it for the last nearly 12 months or so, hasn't it? It's been launched, and for the students that have gone out there and approached employers and got places, they're going to benefit immensely from the experience. So well done to the students, and we've got over 100 students, haven't we, at the moment on work experience, so well done to those, and I'm sure they'll get a really good deal from the experience. Brilliant.